First time in a long time, but back like I never left. Taking each day as it comes, you know me, I don't read ahead. Watch me burn down everything, BDE on the TV set. When I'm in control on the road, you could never really know what's up next.
Hello.
Hello, hello, hello.
Braden Herrington here with Davie Portman for upNXT. PostWrestling.com, Apple Podcasts, whatever podcast app you're using, and of course,
Twitch.tv/upNXT podcast and YouTube.com/upNXT. Hello, Twitch and YouTube room.
Hello, we are live, or maybe you're watching the video replays. Those are available too.
They are available, yeah.
You want to know when we're going live? Hit that subscribe, that follow, whatever it is you got to do. Hey, even Apple Podcast people out there, click that subscribe and maybe give us a nice little rating too.
Whatever you are on, please like us.
Yeah. Make our day.
Make our day.
Yeah. Welcome to upNXT. It's Braden and Davie. We're going to talk about some NXT. You know why? Because 2.0, black and gold, colored splatter, or orange, or whatever you want to call it, will always be your NXT friends. And we are here to talk all about some NXT. And oh boy, we will. But I mean, to get some housekeeping out of the way, get the plugs in, as the kids say. If you are planning on attending Full Gear in Newark, New Jersey next month, well, Post Wrestling and upNXT, me and Davie are going to be part of the Post Wrestling 5th anniversary. It's a show that is taking place, and we have the honor to be the opening act.
Yes, we do, and we've got some more information about that because signed to the dotted line,
Ooh.
and I see him in the Twitch room right now, our BDE champion will be defending the BDE championship live. For the first time ever, we're going to be doing one of our upNXT games in person, in living color. And yeah, Fire Frank defending the title. And this is going to be one of his toughest challenges yet. Because we are doing, it's full gear.
Yeah.
FULL gear. We're going to do full gear because we'll see how many men will fall to Fire Frank. We are doing a Fall Guys, a Squid Game style game to see who is worthy to step up against the champion. And you know how you can take part in this? Well, you can go to postwrestling.com. You can buy yourself tickets to the event. You can come to Newark, New Jersey, and you can declare entry. So at upNXT Podcast, if you're on Twitter, tell us you want to go and face Fire Frank. Go on the Facebook group, upNXT group, and tell us. Or you can message us on Patreon, or however you can slide into our DMs. Tell us that you want to be a part of this.
That's right. I mean, not only do you get to hang out and see John and Wai live, the kings of this shit, as I call them, you'll also get to see appearances by Jordan Goodman. I think Andrew Thompson's going to show up. I heard WH is going to show up. That's not really a drawing power. But now you're saying that
People
if you...
are selling their tickets
Yeah, now they've dropped to $4 like Rampage in Toronto. No, and now you're saying that if you show up, you could possibly walk out if you beat him. BDE champion?
Yes.
That's quite a draw.
At the QXT nightclub that day, you can partake in this game.
Yeah, wow. We're super excited to be part of this. John and Wai are going to put on a fantastic show, and we're honored to be opening for them. Shout out Robert Pearson, putting and orchestrating this whole thing together. But we are super excited, super hyped to be going to New York, to go to Newark. We're going to have so much fun, and hang out. It's going to be the multiverse meetup of everything post-wrestling.
It's going to be the largest post-wrestling gathering in the history of post-wrestling.
It's true.
We've kind of worked out, I think I have met the most people in the post
in the world.
Yeah, I've got the Infinity Gauntlet, and I'm
of
about
a
to
lot of our
collect some more
listeners.
stones.
Yeah.
We can all collect all the stones together on Saturday. Saturday,
Saturday,
19th
the
of
19th.
November.
That's
it's
right.
less than a month away.
Yeah, honestly, if you're like thinking about it, if you're in the area, obviously New York, New Jersey area, or any surrounding states, and you're thinking of doing full gear, well, now you get a double shot. In one day, you can hang out and do all the podcast stuff with me, Davie, John, Way, Sino. Everyone's going to be there. And then we're all going to go watch a pay-per-view. So it's really going to be a fantastic day. So if you're on the fence, hey, make it worth your while and come hang out. We're going to have a blast. We even get a tour rider, and the pre-rolls are going to be dispensed to us. This is just crazy. We're not
exciting.
We're not even, we don't know how we got here, but we're here and we're super excited. And this is going to be a ton of fun. And we are just, can't wait to see all you fancy people out there. Everyone, buy your tickets. There's also VIP where you get to like get photos, and I think I promised a sesh if you want. Yeah, anything you want, pretty much. If you're there, you know us. People like we keep running into Hansi, and he's like, "Yo, I want to take a photo with him." I'm like, I'm not famous. You don't need to take a photo with you, but I will because you're awesome. So we always will. We'll never say no to that. But this is gonna be crazy. Postwrestling.com. I'm sure it's up there for all the info. But let's do this. New York, baby.
Yeah, very excited about this.
Yeah.
It's going to be a hell of a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But you know what else is a hell of a lot of fun? It's signing up to patreon.com/upNXT, because we've been busy little beavers, haven't we?
Yeah, I mean, now that Patreon basically allows everyone to get billed out like every other billing thing, basically how billing works, it starts when you sign up. So you get a month from when you sign up, which means any day is a good day to give us a shot. It's only $5, which means you get access to all the podcasts that we have coming out this month and everything in that back catalog. So if you want the retro NXT reviews, you want the retro pay-per-view reviews or movie reviews, it's all out there, all for your pickings. Once you sign up, you have a month to access everything there. How awesome is that? And if you like Halloween Havoc and you're in still the Halloween spirit, we have our Halloween Havoc WCW 1997 review featuring Rey Mysterio, Eddie Guerrero, and Hogan Piper.
Featuring one of the most bizarre
worst matches
ends to a pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Yes.
We also did a review, finally chatting all about the Karate Kid Part 3. If you're up in your Cobra Kai fiending, well, this is a definite rewatch and re-listen to this review because listen to this review because it's awesome to fill in the gaps of Quicksilver. Terry Silver, the ultimate bad guy in karate. And if you're in the spooky mood, well, we did quite a show chatting about one of your favorite movies, The Omen.
Yeah, we were lucky enough to be joined by Bash Ortega, who writes for HorrorPress.com, and they've recently been at the Brooklyn Horror Film Festival, getting all the scoops on the spooky films coming up, and got to kind of nerd out and dive in deep to this classic horror film, The Omen. Yeah,
Bash knew a lot of stuff. Definitely out-horroring us with all the little bibs and bobs of things that we may or may not know about old school horror, such as The Omen. That was quite a fun review. And then we talk about like the curses of the movie, real curses, and the devil, and it was quite a review from the 666, if you will. But all the other spooky movie reviews are up there as well. Hocus Pocus, Hocus Pocus 2, all the classic ones. And hey, maybe you're not a patron, but you like us enough that you listen to these free shows. Well, we like you free people too. It's time to bring back our annual Halloween reviews, and this week we will be recording this, and I'll be putting it out this Friday on this free feed. The review is Halloween 5.
Yes, it is. It's our yearly Halloween review. Like, we all love Christmas, right? Christmas is a fun time of year, but if we had Christmas every week or every day, it wouldn't be the same. And we're itching to get through these Halloween films. But we've got to show a bit of patience, and we've been doing this yearly, releasing on Halloween, on the 31st, every year. We're up to Halloween 5.
The Revenge of Michael Myers.
Yeah, it's the Jamie Lloyd story. It's my favorite timeline in the Halloween universe.
Wow.
And I'm sure this is always such a fun show to record, and I'm really looking forward to rewatching this film for the first time in quite a while. and yeah, getting on with this one.
Yeah, so go check that out. I'll put it out a little early so you can kick off your weekend with and get the rewatching done and stuff. John Pollock's favorite review series, he says, which we were like shocked by.
What, the Halloween?
Remember,
ones?
he said he was
Yeah.
obsessed with that. He went back and rewatched the movie. So
Yeah, he watched Halloween 4 last year.
yeah,
didn't
that's
he?
right.
Yes.
So join in on our little movie book club, if you will. Join in for all the different podcasts, but patreon.com is where you can support us. It's only $5 per month, and it's how we keep the lights on. So go check out all the different podcasts that we have out there. I will say, last bit of not really a plug, but we had a crazy ton of fun last week in Toronto at Demand Lucha.
Oh, yeah.
Which I know that they stream it and the replays are up on their IWTV or I'm blanking on the name now, but that 4-way match, the main event that we saw at this show, was worth checking out the replay because it was absolutely bonkers.
Yeah, Gringo Loco, ASF, Commander.
And Arez.
Yeah. Awesome
Holy.
stuff, and really great to be there live for that.
Yeah, IWTV on demand, they let you view all sorts of different indie stuff, but I would highly recommend. Then those guys had a weekend full of doing lucha stuff, but can't wait to see those guys come back to the city because Demand Lucha, we got to meet a few listeners actually. Shout out all the listeners we've met at these shows. It's kind of become our territory, just like Toronto is Gringo Loco territory, but. That was a ton of fun, and we will definitely see you at the next one. But would highly recommend because they're killing it in Toronto. As that match blew our minds.
Yeah, that was awesome.
I've never seen some stuff I've seen in those matches. Those lucha guys are killing it. Commander, ASF, Gringo, Arez, yeah, hats off. So yeah, then that leads us to Halloween Havoc that just happened this past weekend. I did a show with Andrew Thompson chatting all about it, so obviously go check that out on this free feed. But
yeah, I had some friends in town who booked a long time ago, so I couldn't really go, sorry guys,
gotta watch Halloween
wrestling.
Havoc.
But I did watch it the next day and thoroughly enjoyed the show, especially that main event, which I thought was awesome. I'd put that up against a lot of stuff we've seen recently. Really good. And I think Bron Breakker just continuing to improve and prove himself, really hanging there with Ilya and JD McDonough, who obviously put on another killer match tonight on NXT. But yeah, I thought that triple threat was very, very strong. Yeah,
Braun, being put in between the two guys that everyone's like, okay, well, they're really good. Let's see how Braun can do. He held his own more
100%.
than that. He was an equal part of that match. So quite awesome. I'm fickle that Ilya took the pin, but I mean you can always go back towards that match, anyways. But happy belated to the champ Bron Breakker, who turned 25 yesterday.
Jeez,
so he had the night off tonight after his victory last weekend. But yeah, that
back next week as promoted.
Yes, as promoted tonight. But yeah, that triple threat was up. I put that up there with takeover level matches, for sure.
Very good.
Really good. I need to see more of that. But I could see Braun going up in the near future. But let's talk about tonight's show because we're going to be talking about some other title matches.
It's Tag Team Title Tuesday. Come on, if you're doing alliteration, guys, you do it in threes. Tag Title Tuesday sounds way better than...
They didn't call it that?
They called it Tag Team Title Tuesday.
Huh.
Which
Weird.
is just doesn't roll off the tongue quite as nicely as Tag Title Tuesday. But yes, NXT from October 25th, 2022. And we kick things off immediately with the NXT Women's Tag Team Championship match. No entrances, all 4 women in the ring. We're kicking things off hot here.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. Chance and Zoe Stark have a really nice back and forth to start with. Chance goes for this Rana onto Zoe, like a head scissors takedown, and Zoe handspring out of it, which was pretty cool. And then Chance kind of does the silly string to Zoe.
Yeah, very similar to Private Parties, but into more of a head scissors afterwards.
Yeah, which sends Zoe flying into the corner to make the tag to Lions. Then Katana and Carter go for a dive to the outside but get caught and slammed by both Zoe and Nikita as we go into the commercial break. We come back and there's this wheelbarrow moonsault from Chance and Carter onto, I believe it was Zoe, which Nikita breaks up, and then Chance counters Zoe's finish, we call it the Zoe to sleep. Zoe Merry Zoe round, is it they call it, or something like that. but Chance counters with a roll through for a near fall, and then Zoe clotheslines Carter out of the ring, who skins the cat, comes back. Chance goes for a big boot, but this gets caught with a roll up from Zoe, but Zoe missed the blind tag, so did the ref. So the referee counts 1, 2, 3.
The music hits.
There's the title celebration. We think Zoe and Nikita have won the titles, but another ref comes down and says that Chance did make the tag to Caden, and therefore the match will be restarted.
So another ref comes down to tell the other ref,
like, wait a minute, that's not on.
Snitches get stitches. This ref should stay out of other people's business.
Yeah.
This isn't even his match. But
Yeah.
I mean, she was the illegal. I think commentary or like Booker was like, wait a second. So they were playing it up like the whole time.
So we then get a top rope Spanish fly from Chance for a very near fall here. Again, crowd kind of thought this might have been a 3.
Yeah,
it's kind of a delayed 3 count.
Especially after that spot,
Yeah.
you were like, oh, okay.
Zoe then delivers a big kick and the split leg drop onto Carter, but Chance breaks this up, and then Caden and Chance hit the neck breaker 450 for the win and retain the tag titles.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely got the crowd like more fired up with the like halfway point. It kind of reminds me, I mean, it's a trope we see in wrestling, not used all the time, but I think thinking back to the MJF CM Punk feud where in Chicago it was the fake win and then they restarted the match. Like it can like start, but in the same way now the crowd like is like more invested because they saw it stop and then it's something that does work, even though it can be annoying. I think you could have just done a full-on match without this happening, but they wanted to make Zoe and Nikita kind of get this fake hope spot here. But I thought a lot of the action was really good, actually. Zoe particularly was like doing all sorts of moves, but as much as we used to really be annoyed by Katana and Caden, their wrestling always improves every time
really
we watch
solid
them.
Tag,
yeah, and sometimes like you could complaints about them is like they do really cool stuff, but everything else is like there is no filling in. Like, why are you doing these moves? Like, are you just doing them because you can do them? Now it seems they have like more flow. Like everything kind of they're working in unison, and it's showing. Like they've clearly been hustling, and they're champions, right? So I felt like finally they like have arrived at that, and I think this is probably their best match to date. I got in on some of the hope spots near the end with the kickouts.
Even the like the dodgy count after the Spanish fly kind of added to the match, I thought.
Yeah,
I do think it is weird, the kind of lack of consistency in wrestling that we see. I think didn't like Raw have like 4 distraction finishes or something like that yesterday.
Yeah.
And as you said, like suddenly the ref is bothered in the back, like sitting in catering or waiting for their match. No. And they're like, wait, this isn't on.
This is how you should do your job.
But it does. It did get the crowd kind of more into this. I thought all 4 were good here, especially I thought Zoe matched up really nicely with both Caden and Katana.
Yeah.
But kind of continues the story here, which makes sense because they're the only, apart from Toxic Attraction, who've kind of had their time. There's no other real teams right now.
A little thing I noticed is Nikita, she does that like spin kick, and then she does like the sit out leg drop, bum drop on her opponent as her finish. When she does the kick, before she does the thing, she does the little rock kick before he does the people's elbow. You remember he always kicks him and then does the elbow?
Kicks the arm away.
And then like does it. Right. So she does that before she does the leg drop, which I was like, nice little touch. But yeah, honestly, it had some good action in this opening match.
Absolutely.
I know AEW starts off shows right away. Obviously Rampage, where just right away the bell rings and it starts, which I like that. Like they gave them way more time, I think, rather than the drawn out entrances. It allowed for like a full TV match, and I think both teams and all 4 people like gained a lot from that.
Something we have noticed in recent weeks. We've had a lot longer matches. I mean, I think on tonight's show, I think we had 5 matches, and we've had weeks in the past where we've had like 8, 9 matches.
True. I hate when they do that.
I didn't feel you're gonna have your odd squash thrown in there, which is fine. I think squashes have a place, but in general, most of the big matches, your 2 tag titles and your main event here had time, and it's way better for it.
No, I agree. I know we just came off a premium live event, but I mean, when TV has matches that actually aren't just like 2-minute matches and there's like 10 of them, like I hate that. You can tell if you listen to us, we're like, this is so stupid. We're just watching the same thing every time. Here is actually a like full on proper TV match, and it made all four look good. It worked.
We have a video from Ilya Dragunov setting up the main event for tonight, where he's taking on JD McDonough, where he's calling JD a cancer that's kind of festering in NXT, and he says it's time that he eliminates the cancer once and for all. Again, I love these kind of Shakespearean warrior Dragunov promos. I thought both his and McDonough's video we have later were pretty good, setting the scene for the main event.
Yeah, I agree.
We have a video where we see a kind of the retribution mask of T-Bar.
Right, that was his name?
T-Bar, yeah, being set on fire. And it's the voice of T-Bar, Dijakovic, saying the second coming. I think he mentioned retribution. It will be the second coming, and there will be retribution. So it seems like Dijak a bit of a restart, coming back to NXT. I think that's great. I wouldn't mind seeing him being like put in the title picture. I think a Bron Breakker Dijak match pretty soon down the line. It looks like we're setting up for Apollo next, but I think that will be good. He needs to shed all this main roster stink he's got, because I think Dijak's a phenomenal performer and great look. Like, he's a big guy, and I'm baffled that they haven't done more with him.
Yeah, really crazy they fumbled that, like putting him in the mask and everything. I'm not saying he was the most, like, he didn't have much of a character before, but like having a new start here would be okay. Like, as long as you don't give him a gimmick where he can like see the future or anything, like he should be okay. But
I always thought his promo wasn't the best, but it wasn't bad either. So I think maybe trying to develop more of a character that isn't goofy. But yeah, I think he's great, so I'm looking forward to seeing him back in.
Yeah, do we go to Dijak versus Braun at Deadline? Or is that just like
I think we're getting Apollo first.
At Deadline? No. Apollo's going to be a TV title match for sure.
Really?
That would be the softest main event. Apollo is done. Sorry, man. You're not winning the title. You didn't see that vision come true.
I feel that's where we're going.
That would suck.
Although
I think.
December 10th.
It's a while away.
Still a while away.
That's too far.
6 weeks, something like that.
It's either Dragunov or it's Dijak at this point now. Or no, sorry, Carmelo needs something to do, and he's not a champion. So, but yeah, cool to see this guy in. There's a few dudes he could mix up with for sure.
Wesley comes out with the North American title, having his celebration. There are "You Deserve It" chants from this crowd I'm pretty sure that they hated this guy like a few months ago and were booing him a lot, but.
Maybe it's different people.
Now he deserves it. Yeah.
Maybe it's different people showing up at this
I guess
place.
maybe more directed at his partner at the time. But he says, thank you. He's like, oh, you're going to make me all emotional again here. And he says, I never thought I'd make it to WWE, and especially never be a champ, especially a champion on my own. But the faith and confidence from everyone here inspired me when I was lost in the dark. And winning this title gave me a sense of validation I have been searching for my entire life, and that is that I belong, that there's a place for me, and that I'm loved for who I am, and I am forever grateful. So kind of putting a cap on his whole, like, lost, since his partner left.
Yeah,
like,
the sad
lost.
West.
He's like, cap that off now.
I'm over that.
And he gets interrupted by Grayson Waller, who says, well, I'm glad you had a good holiday, because I didn't. Because Halloween is a stupid made-up holiday anyway. And he's like, and so what? You won a ladder match. You climbed a ladder. I did that at Home Depot yesterday. And Wes kind of reminds him, well, you lost your match. And he says, well, he didn't pin me. He rolled me in a casket. So as far as I'm concerned, it's still 1-0 between me and Apollo.
He says he rolled me into an inanimate object. So, like, Wes could have said, you're an inanimate object. I mean, Waller coming out instantly, I'm like, all right, we're bringing Wes down to this level, but at least he does need like a first defense, kind of successful defense. I guess Waller easily slides in there considering they have history here.
Yeah.
I really liked Wes's shoes, so I asked our resident shoe expert, B. Detroit, and he got back to me right away informing me they were the Allen Iverson questions, I believe. But then I noticed Waller, who, we always give credit where it's due. He's got the best shirts, but he's re-wearing a shirt here, and it was one of his worst ones that I hated a few weeks ago, the mesh one with flowers. So I see you, Waller.
Well, I guess he's depressed after his loss.
Couldn't go shopping this week. He's in a casket.
He didn't get that winner's purse, so
True.
he's got to re-wear stuff, I guess. Yeah. But yeah, Grayson interrupts when R-Truth comes out. What huge reaction.
I mean, yeah, there was a huge reaction. Anytime a main roster person comes here now, doesn't matter. Just
it's that
big
time.
reaction.
I feel like this happens every year when they're like, oh yeah, R-Truth's on the roster. Because he was on Raw yesterday. They're like, suddenly, oh yeah, let's book R-Truth.
What's up? People over there, what's up?
So he comes out dressed as the Joker. Original costume.
With
R-Truth.
his Joker Penta mask.
He's Joker Penta. And R-Truth welcomes everyone to Halloween Havoc and asks if you're ready for the spookiest night when Waller interrupts saying, mate, it happened. Halloween Havoc was 3 days ago. And R-Truth goes, oh, that's cool. You're coming at me with that British accent. And then starts being racist here by mocking the British accent.
He calls him governor.
He says, excuse me, governor.
And then calls him mate.
Why is it okay to imitate the British? I don't know.
It's like, so you're saying if Grayson Waller happened to be of a different background, I don't know, maybe if Grayson Waller was of Mexican descent, you saying R-Truth wouldn't make the same jokes?
I don't think you'd be doing Sanger's accent. I'll put it that way.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's funny.
But I get it. You
ruined it. Yeah, you ruined the world.
Pieces of shit. So
yeah, British people ruined everything.
Have at us.
Honestly.
I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah.
We're struggling right now.
Like if you're a white guy in Italian, it's fair game, and you're a white guy in any like British, English, Irish, or whatever those Scottish people talk like, it's fine. It's fair game to just like go at it. He did get it half right by saying mate. So
mate,
like
yeah.
Australian.
True.
People think you're Australian sometimes.
All the time. Yeah.
I think it's because you were British and then you turned over to Canadian for the past while, so your like accent's like deteriorating.
All over the place. Yeah, maybe. Waller says again that Halloween Havoc's already happened, and Truth doesn't believe it. Wes confirms yes, Halloween Havoc has happened, and Truth congratulates him on his title and asks, Grayson, how did you get on? And the crowd are chanting, he lost. And he's told that he lost to Apollo in a casket match. And
yeah, is it Wes who's like, yeah, he just like rolled him in there. He rolled him right in, and that's how he lost. And then R-Truth's like, wait a second, you rolled one up in here? Oh, yo! And then just like, let's go. I gotta come back here to NXT. You guys can roll up here.
And it's like also he didn't know where Apollo Crews was. He's like, Apollo Crews? Ah, that's a nice dude.
Nice. He's down here too. Yeah.
So Waller then basically challenges Truth to a match, but says not next week. It'll be next week if you can tonight? Work it out. Yeah, not tonight. Next week if you can work out the right day on the calendar. And then Waller tries to attack Truth, but Truth ducks. Wes punches Waller in the face. Truth hits his like flying leg lariat, and they beat up Waller here.
What's up?
What's up?
I'm excited. We're gonna get him back here next week.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. I love me some Ron Killings, some K Quick.
He's genuinely pretty funny, I think. His humor does work on me sometimes.
As soon as his music hit, I was like, he's gonna do a bit where he thinks he's at the wrong. Like I had a feeling, and then they went with it.
I was waiting for when he saw Wes's title to be like, man, you won the 24/7 championship. I've been looking for that, or something like. You know how we get everything wrong.
Because the spots he's done in like the Rumble where he sets up the ladder, that shit was funny.
Yeah.
Like I will say he's perfected his comedy bit, and I think it's a unanimous, like all wrestling fans can kind of get together and be like, this guy's good at this stuff. He's funny at this, and never forget former NWA World Champ.
He was, yeah.
What's up?
Oh, I thought this was pretty fun.
I loved his Joker outfit.
He looked good in a suit. Yeah. We see Malik Blade and Idris Anofe backstage. They're getting ready for their tag title match. And Malik is nervous. And Idris says, I've got nerves too, but it's our night. And then starts to quote Eminem, lose yourself. If you had one shot, one opportunity to seize everything you ever wanted. And Malik's like, wait, are you quoting Eminem to me? So yeah, that's setting up for their big match.
I mean, that's a song everyone gets hyped up to, right?
Yeah, Lose Yourself.
Yeah, it's still up there. Put that on. You're good.
I feel this joke's been done a lot
Yeah.
by a lot of different people. Over
Yeah.
Not just in wrestling.
It's like a 20-year-old song. So.
Yeah. More than, I think.
Yeah, probably around there.
Yeah.
Do kids even know? Eminem.
You're right. It's like 2002, I think.
Yeah, last time I was on TikTok, the kids were trying to cancel Eminem again. So it's like all over again.
You're obsessed with cancel.
No, I just see everyone being like, oh, like these lyrics, these shouldn't be whatever. But here, these lyrics are good.
Yeah. Apollo Crews is being interviewed and says he's glad Grayson is is in his rearview mirror. Says that Waller is annoying, but he is talented. But now he can focus on being the NXT champion. Says the vision is clear because next week Bron Breakker is returning, and he is interested at what he has to say.
So a bit more serious, kind of like more getting away from it, kind of making jokes that his vision's clear now, so he doesn't have to see all these stupid visions, I hope is the thing, but probably not. We're probably still going to get these visions, and maybe he sees himself as NXT champion, so therefore we get to that match. Yeah,
it's like, I still think Apollo Crews is a really talented performer, but like they've fumbled him on NXT, and NXT is meant to be like, but when you see someone come down, it's meant to be to rehab.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I thought when they brought Finn back down, and granted Finn's a bigger star, but they did a good job kind of rehabbing him and giving him a bit of that
different
edge
times
and stuff like that. But yeah, if you're bringing someone back down to give them something so goofy, it's bizarre.
Yeah, it's almost like throwing him into like it's already. I'm definitely written this off. I don't even care about the title match, to be honest. At this point, he's not
I think it could
winning.
be good, and I think if you move away from this vision shit, like I still think he could have a good match with Braun.
Unfortunately, anyone after feuding and having that match with Dragunov and JD, it won't like live up to it. What's Apollo gonna do? Some standing moonsaults? Like, I just don't. I completely am over him back now, especially after this gimmick. Like, it's very uninterested.
It can be a good test for Braun, though. Like, not the character, but the performer. You know, being up against someone a bit stronger. Like, a lot of his opponents, he's been the big guy,
the bigger one.
right? So it'll be good for him to like. Because he has been proving it against everyone. I think the match could be good.
I liked how this promo was right when we came back from commercial, but before we went to commercial, it showed Quincy introducing Shotzi, and then she's standing in the ring, and then it goes to break, and then it plays like ads for the Saudi shows, and then it plays like, you know...
They do this all the time.
Then it plays this promo, and then finally we go to Shotzi, who's been standing there for probably like 10 minutes at that point. Just so funny. It's like, what were you doing?
They do this every week, though.
They do it mostly on Raw.
They'll have one person have an entrance, then they'll do an interview, and all
they'll
that.
be
It's
waiting
really
there
odd.
forever. It's like, what do you do? Just talk to the fans, I guess. Like, shoot the breeze. Yeah. So Shotzi and Quincy.
So yeah, Quincy's brought out Shotzi for her match against Lash Legend, which was set up at Halloween Havoc. We get a drop kick to the knee from Shotzi. Shotzi goes for a drop toe hold, but Lash, being a lot bigger, manages to hold herself up and just stomps on the chest of Shotzi. Shotzi goes to climb the turnbuckle, but gets booted off by Lash. And then, whilst on the outside, Quincy blows a kiss towards Lash Legend.
And then wiggles his booty.
Wiggles his ass in her face, which Booker didn't see.
Booker T loves Quincy. What do you mean? He's like, what the hell? What is that? What's going on? Him at Halloween Havoc? Oh, man.
Yeah. There's a stretch muffler from Legend, and then Shotzi just slaps Legend in the face and delivers the Never Wake Up, the DDT, to pick up the win.
Yeah, pretty cool DDT. She like hooks your arm or something in it. Yeah, it looks cool. Cool name for it as well. A pretty clunky match, to be honest, and I'm happy it didn't kind of go on longer. I know people give Lash Legend a lot of shit because she's really new and stuff, but she is really new, and a lot of this was just hitting each other that didn't look like they were really hitting each other. But I am happy that Shotzi kind of came back down here, but it was not too much of a match. I will say my highlight of this was Quincy shaking his ass.
Right.
So, yeah.
Yeah, this felt a bit like
as we say
Boxing
that
Day. You know, it's just the remnants of the holiday, and Shotzi's still in Halloween mode.
Yeah, it's like leftovers. It's like,
Yeah.
we know Halloween's this week, so hey, we'll just have Shotzi. But I'm sorry to interrupt you, because as I said, my favorite part was some ass shaking. The bots in our YouTube chat showed up. Free VRT girls chat. Free virtual chat. Nice. We got some.
Check it out later.
Yeah, we'll have to
Thank
bookmark that. Sweet.
Thank you,
All you have to do-
sex.xyz.
All you need to do is talk about some shaking ass.
Yeah.
And our listeners go up. But yeah, I like Shotzi, and I kind of think they're not using her the right way. I think a lot of non-wrestling fans look at her and go, whoa, who is this character? This person's like out of her mind, crazy, the horror movie stuff. I think there's a big they're missing something in how they're using her.
I think she does need to refine her wrestling a bit.
Fair
she
enough.
does have a very like clunky style, and it can work for her. It's like the Jeff Hardy, like a bit awkward, not particularly pretty, but does some
Scrappy
crazy stuff. But I think it really exposes her when she's against like Lash Legend, who's very green, or like when we've seen her in like ladder matches and stuff like that. It just gets very messy. So I don't think having her in a tag team right now is a bad idea, but I think you could utilize her in more stuff like this on the main roster.
Yeah, she is such a good talker.
More of a presenter role. And
she's so good at that. I mean, she's easily got a career after WWE years later at, the horror movie host, the drive-ins and all those stuff. Like, she is she's like Elvira, man. She's great. Like, she's awesome. So definitely love the character and stuff. But I kind of do agree that showcasing her here against Lash didn't help either of them. I mean, she hit a cool DDT at the end, but I was really happy that it wasn't a longer match.
Yeah. We go on to Brutus and Julius Creed, who come out. Brutus is meant to have 5 minutes in the ring with Damon Kemp.
Freak show! I got 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So this is a match that only has a 5 minute time limit.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Julius is on the mic first and says his hands are still jacked up from Saturday and Sunday. And you look at his hands, and this didn't actually look like makeup. His hands were all kind of cut up and bruised here.
I mean, I think they may have touched his hands up a little bit, but thinking back to that match at Halloween Havoc, the spot where he gets his hand slammed in the door, me and Andrew were talking on that review, like, I don't know how you were faking that, because it looked as if the guy repeatedly slammed the door on your hands.
His hands did look pretty.
So like, I'm
not
not necessarily saying that maybe they didn't add some things for effect, but his hands definitely hurt.
They looked
that.
swollen.
Yeah, they had.
Well, that's where I was like, oh, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe it is. Legit.
They had to be hurt.
Yeah.
No matter what.
But he says all that pain means nothing compared to saving my brother. And it's time for my brother to put on the last punctuation by putting away Damon Kemp for good. Brutus thanks Julius for winning the match and tells him I love you, and then gets all amped up and says, but now it's my turn. Damon Kemp, you promised me 5 minutes, and I'm going to finish what I started. When Kemp appears on the screen and says, Julius, you just got lucky on Saturday, and Brutus, you got lucky tonight because I'm not medically cleared, but I still have 5 minutes of hell waiting for you, and every day you have me wait, Brutus then says, every day you have me wait, your ass whooping is going to get worse and worse, because it's Diamond Mine forever. And before we go to the kind of post angle here, what do you think of Brutus and Julius promo here?
Yeah, I felt this didn't really service this storyline. I think it just kind of holds it. I think we could have just done it without it, to be honest. Like, this could have just been a backstage thing teasing next week, if that's the case. I usually am a big fan of the Creed brothers, but I remember the General Hospital skit they did a few weeks ago. Definitely was like, ooh, that's not the right thing to do with these guys. I think the same thing with this. It's like you're trying to go into the, like, yeah, I'm my brother's keeper and I did this for him, but like, just come out, be badasses is kind of. I think you're cooler than you are. You're this character that you're trying to portray. Because I follow them on social media. These guys are beasts. Look, they're wrestlers. They're amazing. I just think that they're being kind of soft and too fake to be like, Damon. Well, you Damon Kemp, I oughta.
Yeah, I've really liked Julius on the mic in the past.
Me too.
But I got those hospital scene vibes again.
But live
with this,
in the ring.
It was just kind of bad acting rather than delivering like a fiery promo. I also, you're like both with Waller and Kemp here, like it made it seem less than like winning the ambulance match. The idea of the ambulance match is you beat them up so much that you lock them in an ambulance and they go right to the hospital.
Right.
Having Kemp just on the screen, smiling, being, oh, I'm not medically cleared, rubbing his shoulder. It's just like, oh, you actually just had a match where you closed the door behind this guy.
Yeah.
And it kind of, I think if you're doing a bit like, I don't really like ambulance matches, but sell the gimmick, you know?
I mean, he can't fight, so...
Well,
yeah,
but he's there grinning. It's like, it's
Yeah.
heel, like, oh, I'm not medically cleared. Same with Waller tonight. It's like losing the casket matches. Oh, no, I just got rolled in a box and the lid got closed.
All you needed to do was like they did all this to set up this angle after, but I think they just went around it the wrong way. I think you could have just had them go, hey, look, I saved my brother.
More of a celebration promo.
We're here, Diamond Mine, now we can focus. We want those tag titles back. Damon Kemp shows up on the screen and goes, I'm not here tonight because I'm hurt from that ambulance, but I'm always one step ahead of you. Boom, attack from behind. Here's my new gang. And we go to this.
I don't think they needed Kemp at all tonight.
Instead, they went around like trying to be emotional and the brothers thing and then getting amped up to want to fight him. It just felt all over the place.
So after this, Sanger and Veer come in and beat up the Creeds. There's a big chokeslam from Sanger. I do think he has a nice
He's got one of the
chokeslam.
best.
Yeah.
Veer could learn a lot from Sanger.
And as they're leaving, Ivy's asking, why? Why did you do this?
That was us a few weeks ago.
Diamond Mine's meant to be forever.
When Sanger turned his back on Valentina, we asked why Sanger why, and now we know is because Damon Kemp was paying the big bucks to get these guys reunited, to have them here to attack Diamond Mine. So, what was their name? Indashir?
Indashir, yeah.
Indashir has reunited fully here as they are heels and attack Diamond Mine. Clearly, we're getting this tag match.
Yeah, I think it's a shame because I liked the Sanger character and doing something a bit different than your big monsters. But Sanger has definitely improved in ring over the last year or so. Veer is still
coming
unproven. I mean, really, he was just doing squash. I still don't feel I've really actually seen this guy wrestle because all he's done was squashes. But maybe the Creeds could be. I like the Creeds as a tag team. It could actually work, and let's hope this time round, this tag team, they're a bit more improved than before, and it could work.
Still no Roddy.
No Roddy. He's still in the hospital.
He still could be a swerve, bro.
We see Pretty Deadly, and they're nervous. They say, "Oh, those guys, they're quick, and they're beloved by everyone, and they're fan favorites, but." We should really start talking about Idris and Malik. I'm like, nah. So they've been talking about themselves, and then they go side plate check, and they wiggle the side plates of the titles in the camera.
I like this.
Each other darlings.
Yeah, they get real close to each other and talk like they're gonna make out. Yeah. These guys are really funny.
They are pretty funny.
Their match is next. I guess we'll talk about it.
Yeah. We see. Toxic Attraction.
Oh, right, yeah.
Gigi is sunbathing, and she's on the phone on FaceTime to Mandy, who's driving a car. And
she got her Range Rover back, I guess.
And they're like, where's JC? Oh, JC's at the gym. So they call JC, and now it's a three-way chat.
So, okay, so how this is shot is basically like Mean Girls. Like the three-way call in the movie, right? But there's also now cameras on.
It looks like a Twitch stream.
Yeah, so each stream has...
Looks like they're doing a watch-along of NXT.
They have their phone on FaceTime on each of them, but then the show NXT also has a camera person with them wherever each girl is. So they're just not together, but it's like a day in the life, I guess, to kind of set that up. But very Mean Girl-esque. Yeah,
JC's getting jacked up at the gym, and... They say, well, let's be grateful we all got out of that haunted house alive. And we have the NXT Championship. And next week we will be celebrating Mandy Rose's 1-year anniversary as NXT Women's Champion. So you bitches better be ready to celebrate. And as long as we have the championship, it's Toxic Attraction and everyone else. Yeah.
Was this the best part of the show? Gigi at the the pool. She's like, oh, I'm just out here getting my son that vitamin D. JC's like huge arms. She's like kissing herself on the arms there. And then Mandy's just driving and I got a photo shoot later tonight. So yeah, why not set up the celebration next week? I think, was this Be Real? Is this what this app is? Be Real? This is it, right?
No.
This is the 3-way call? No.
I told you I got Be Real, didn't I?
Yeah. I recently got Be Real, and I understood what you meant. It's like, oh, you don't know it's also taking the front photo at the same time, so your face is going to be like,
yeah. But what I want to know is why I'm taking a photo pulling a face like that.
I don't know. Why would you be?
Yeah. Every time I take a photo now, I'm just going to
look real cool,
as handsome as I can,
like Toxic Attraction.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Who do you think is gonna interrupt the celebration?
Roxanne. Like she's hot off a big win.
Yeah.
Although it is quite a while till deadline, so you could have some sort of intermission kind of defense.
Could you see anyone come down from the main roster or anyone come back who's been away?
Yeah, true.
Like, I'm trying to think. Who are the options for Mandy? There's no one really now that I can think of apart from Roxanne.
Yeah.
On the babyface side.
Yeah, there's not too many here. Saray, she could come back. Since she's not the hoodie girl.
Yeah, they've kind of done that a couple of times.
Yeah, they did, didn't they? Yeah, I don't know. Bring someone back from the main roster, possibly. Yeah. Sonya, just do it again. Turner again.
Yeah.
I don't know.
There's Satomura as well, who
obviously
is in the 3-way but hasn't done the 1-on-1. Same with Bea Priestley.
Yeah.
Where's she gone?
Where's Satomura? If you're not using her in NXT, just put her on Raw or SmackDown or something at this point. Like, make some big special matches happen now.
Yeah.
Interesting, yeah. The Twitch chat's coming up with some suggestions. Someone suggests Mei Ying, but meaning Wendy Chu.
Oh, Wendy Chu. Yeah, she's disappeared. She's disappeared for a bit.
Yeah, I don't know.
But we've done the Wendy Mandy thing to death, haven't we?
The Twitch chat is also asking, where is Tiffany Stratton? Can't wait to see Tiffany Stratton come back. Can't wait.
Yeah.
Big fans of Tiffany Stratton.
We go to our NXT Tag Team Championship match. It's Pretty Deadly defending against Malik Blade and Idris Enofe. And, well, it's all Idris and Malik for most of this match. They hit right off the gate a blockbuster elbow drop off the top combo for a great near fall. I love when you start the match like this going like, oh, is it going to be like a
squash
flash finish kind of thing?
Yeah, I loved commentary here. Booker T's... I don't like him on commentary.
Well, you tell me. Let me tell you something. This kid over here and this kid
reminds me.
And I'll tell you something. And this kid.
Yeah. He starts off by Vic is like, well, Idris and Malik are two of the most fashionable superstars, and Booker's like, what? What are you talking about? This guy's wearing a vest. Like, stop. Just stop right there, Vic. And then when Pretty Deadly come out, Vic is like, well, I'm going to assume that you don't like these guys. And he's like, what do you mean? These guys look like stars. So, Booker, big fans of Yes Boy.
Yes Boy. Yeah, this is pretty fun. So it's all Idris and Malik. Enofe hits this great like top rope. It looks like he's going for a high cross, but twists to more like a back senton thing.
Yeah.
Look really cool. After the commercial, Pretty Deadly starts to make a comeback. There's big DDT from Elton Prince, and Blade gets tagged in, who hits a big flying clothesline, and then like the kind of Miz clothesline in the ropes.
Yeah.
Climbs to the top, but Elton leaves the ring, so Blade hits this huge run-up tope con hilo over the turnbuckle, taking out both are Pretty Deadly. This looked awesome.
Yeah, I mean, that was crazy. He just flies over the top rope, taking out both of them.
So much height. Wilson and Blade are then duking it out in the ring, and then Blade and Enofe hit this double cutter to Wilson, which looked very nice.
Yeah, reminded me of the video games when you could do double RKO.
Yeah.
This is it. Rated RKO would do it. Edge and Randy used to do it. Just both at the same time. Yeah, it looked cool.
And then Enofe hits this big knee to the face. Blade takes out Prince, but Wilson still manages to kick out. And then Elton pulls down the rope to kind of send Blade to the outside. They set up for spilt milk on Blade, but Malik rolls this through for a great near fall.
Yeah, the crowd bought it. I bought it for sure.
And then Pretty Deadly eventually hit spilt milk to pick up the win and retain the titles in really good match here and a really good showing from Blade and Inofi.
By the end of the match, Booker had changed his tune real quick, especially on Malik Blade here.
Yeah.
He was like, whoa, okay, this kid is on fire, and he was in this match. It's usually Inofi who's kind of stealing the show, I'd say, in the matches. So for Blade to kind of be the standout was cool, and definitely an eye-opening moment for... We've watched these guys. They've been enhancement talent for quite a while here. They've been given some silly backstage stuff here and there, but they're slowly getting to like a position, and week by week they get there, and having matches like this is definite. I could have bought them winning during this match.
Yeah, which I think is a good thing if you're biting on these guys to win.
I was.
I kind of liked how Pretty Deadly were just like, hey, you guys do a lot of flashy stuff.
Yeah, we'll chill.
How about you do all of that, and then we'll win.
We'll win,
and it will make
That's all their matches,
and it will make it a better match for it. And fair enough.
As much as I absolutely adore Pretty Deadly, their matches, they usually don't stand out in them. It's always them getting beat up, they doing some cheeky shit, and then they hit their spilt milk, which I think is a really bad finisher. It's not even a finisher.
They didn't even fully.
They didn't never. I don't think they have ever fully hit that move.
Yeah.
But it's just funny. They're funny, so I'll always still like be behind them. But their wrestling could improve. They just need a better finisher, and that's it. But
yeah, both tag title matches really delivered for me.
Tag Team Title Tuesday.
Tag Team Title Tuesday.
TTT.
TTT.
It was pretty good, and Inofi and Blade continue to impress. And Pretty Deadly, like they're already champs. They already like are kind of names here on this show. But Inofi and Blade kind of really coming into their own, and it's cool to see. I could see them being keep them together. They could be a pretty hot
That's what
tag.
I hope with so many of these tag teams.
Yeah.
It's like, don't rush splitting these guys up.
Yeah.
I feel it would be nice to have ready-made tag teams moving up to the main roster, which they don't do a great deal.
Yeah. These guys could put on some hot matches on the main roster.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
New Day, Usos, Street Profits. Yeah. We get now a JD McDonough video package hyping up the main event. He says that bike almost sounded like his entrance music there. He says, I almost didn't get out of bed on Sunday morning because I wasn't NXT champion, but then I realized neither was Ilya. And Ilya calls me a cancer. Well, there's one nickname I was given recently that I prefer, and that's the necessary evil. He talks about the devil inside of him, and as his face turns red, do camera effects, and his voice turns evil. Whoa. And he says, your face was priceless when I stopped the ref from counting, and you're going to be bloody and incapacitated tonight, and you will never wish you heard the name JD McDonough or came to NXT. And throughout all of this, it's shots of him having like acupuncture to the face. He's in ice chambers like Walt Disney, and again, a good video. I think this style works for him.
Yeah, another character that at first we're like, oh, they've given him the creepy guy gimmick. But I mean, if you stick with anything long enough, it'll eventually start to work and evolve and stuff. So he's definitely kind of found his own. But I actually like the storyline. I thought that was probably the highlight of that match, actually, when he stops the count, because Dragunov's reaction was like, what the fuck did you just do? And then JD's like laughing, like, I didn't even care who won. If it wasn't me, it wasn't going to be you. Like, essentially, like, it didn't matter who I was doing.
They've done a good job, and I wasn't following NXT UK weekly, but I think they've done a good job of carrying over
the history,
the story they had there with Ilya writing off Devlin from NXT UK. I think they've carried it over quite nicely to NXT and have filled the audience in a good way with it, and that definitely continued tonight.
The devil inside. He's like the Omen.
He is, yeah. Damien. We get Zoe Stark and Nikita Lyons backstage. Zoe's frustrated. She said, I had the tag titles in my hand and it was taken away, and Kaden and Katana were lucky. Nikita apologizes to Zoe, but Zoe says it's not her fault. It was mine. How did I not see the tag? And we will get a rematch and take the gold down the line.
Yeah, kind of feeling a bit heelish here from Zoe. Like, she's a little pissed off. Like, maybe splitting her with Nikita. I'm not sure, but seems like she's upset at this. Kind of a different tone.
I thought, compared like to the sort of kind of bad acting from the Creeds earlier, I thought this seemed genuine, like frustration and stuff. I thought they were both pretty good here. we have the Schism.
Oh, here we go.
And yeah. We've got, starts with Joe Gacy. The other two, sorry, it's Joe Gacy with the dyad, Rip Fowler and Jagger Reed in yellow masks.
Yeah, they all have
Plastic Dollarama masks.
It's like smiley face masks. They wear smiley pins and give them out and stuff like that. At least we got to hear their theme song.
Pretty sure Way and Pauline wore these masks to one of our Halloween parties.
Smiley face?
Yeah,
they did. Yeah. They're part of the Schism tree.
They
Way
are.
confirmed part of the Schism tree.
Yeah.
These guys looking like they're coming out here looking like they're the type of people who were in Vegas this weekend for when we were young. We got fucking, what's his name? Rip Fowler?
Yeah.
Wearing all black and like the one eye, a little wonky. We got, what's the other guy's name?
Jagger Reed.
Jagger Reed in his like gray black flannel, emo Rip skinny black jeans. Like they were looking for
They're
emo
starting
weekend.
to dress a little more quote-unquote normal.
James
though.
Drake's got his facial hair back.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's that. But yeah, they look like they were gonna be somewhere else this weekend. But they also have the red hoodie.
The third member, the red hoodie.
The fourth member.
Fourth member. Yeah. Third follower. Yeah. Gacy says pride and arrogance is everywhere in NXT, and these pioneers, talking about Jagger and Rip, understand that togetherness is the greatest accomplishment, and our mission statement is clear: remove your mask and join the Schism or be torn down. And Rip Fowler says NXT is full of selfishness and greed, and everyone puts themselves in front of us, but that's only a reflection of your shortcomings, and if you water the roots, more roots will grow, and allow them to dry out, and so will all hope. And then Jaggerman says uncontrolled negativity, blah blah blah, something about social well-being.
Pain rings pain.
And to be truly healthy, you must know how to treat it carefully. Love brings love, and the Schism only builds stronger together as a unit. It was interesting, you mentioned Jagger's like grown out the facial hair again. He's also ditched the contact lens. And
he's like, nah, I'll just dress
and
emo.
both these guys, when they started this gimmick, were talking in like a more neutral, like British accent.
Right.
Whereas Rip is full Scouser
full
again.
Scousey?
Drake Jagger sounds like he
Mick
used to
Jagger,
sound like
Rip Taylor.
Blackpool, I think he is. Gacy then says there are people in this world who think they have everything they want but are defeated on the inside. The path to everlasting unity comes from showing their true
Yada
selves.
yada yada.
And then it's revealed the final member, the fourth member, is not Isla Dawn, who we've been guessing at,
Or Saray.
but
Ava Rain.
Ava Rain.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or you might recognize her as Young Rock.
Young Rock.
Simone Johnson.
Yeah.
If you smell.
I think they've given her the surname Rain.
True.
Not Reigns, but
Rain. Oh,
Yeah.
interesting. I didn't think of it that way. But
Yeah.
wow. If
So-
you smell what the Schism is cooking.
So is this the Pebble? Like if
yeah, Young Rock.
that's the Rock?
Yeah, I mean, clearly not the person who was wearing the hoodie in all the other sketches. She's a lot taller than the person who was running around.
Oh, she
but-
was on a podium here.
Was she? Okay,
Yeah,
maybe.
they were like on a winner's
Still-
medal podium sort of thing.
Still, I think it was probably. This is this is a swerve to me. I did not see this coming. I completely forgot that we've never seen her.
She's
right?
been down in the PC for, I feel like, 2 years now, hasn't she?
Yeah, I mean, we've seen her pop up on since they've been back to doing NXT like live shows and stuff. She showed up and debuted. I think she was going by the Final Girl, kind of like that Church's singer was doing, the Final
Okay.
Girl, like Laurie Strode kind of stuff. But here, joining emo night here with the like red black hair, like the dark emo outfits. So yeah, crazy. The Rock's daughter, Simone Johnson, Ava Rain, showing up in a stable with two guys from NXT UK and CZW legend. Wrestling's weird.
Yeah.
What's going on here? They threw her in. This is like Rocky Maivia. Like, yo, we're gonna make you in the drizz. Like, she's instantly shifted being the leader of this group.
It was interesting because the crowd don't like. There was one guy just heckling throughout the whole thing.
Yeah, he was annoying.
There was a bit of a reaction from
Big reaction.
Simone. It
Big
was
reaction
like,
from me and you.
It was like, okay,
Yeah.
yeah, not where I'd have placed her, but
No.
yeah, well, why not? I mean, I think it makes sense if you want to start using her. She's so young. I'm looking. She's 21
Crazy.
years old, and I would assume is still pretty green. I've not seen any of her work, but maybe having her in a bit of a group, kind of like what they're doing with Thea Hale, like get TV time and get like used to being in the cameras, but maybe we won't showcase so much of your wrestling yet because we can work on that on the PC. But at least now we've got you as a character, perhaps.
Yeah, look, we've been so down on the Joe Gacy schism stuff. I will say that since kind of bringing in more of a like the Titantrons and the way they looked was all like new designs. Like it's as if they are going forward with trying less to be the woke kind of thing, and now let's just go into like Raven's flock. Yeah, essentially, you know what I mean.
They like reveal like we were talking bullshit and we're
we're just gonna be grungy and emo and wear plaid and denim jackets and stuff like that. So it's okay. Like I think instantly adding this person. I mean, I've not seen her wrestle. I don't know if she's any good. She barely talked here, but of course it has interest. It's The Rock's daughter. Of course we're gonna be like, whoa, let's see what goes on here. So it does have my interest. But as I said, instantly she's now the hierarchy of this group.
She's the
she's the bloodline.
Project,
she's the bloodline. Which I mean, instantly in a few years, that if that's still a storyline going on, you bring her in. You mentioned her name, Rain. I mean, in a promo, she could be like, "I'm Ava Rain," or something like that. But I think
Ava reigns supreme, that kind of thing. Like, do a little play on words.
I know that it's like such a weird group that you would put her into, but I mean, they haven't used her yet, so hey, why not see where they can go with this? I still think this whole group is just ridiculous, and it got even more ridiculous, but now I'm like even more into it than I was.
It's also kind of kayfabe wise, it's like they've been like James Drake and Zach Gibson have been
brainwashed,
given these names because it's like their cult name, if that makes sense.
Sure.
So it's something that when she's at the stage, she can kind of shed this name and be Simone Johnson or whatever they want to go with, something a bit more oozy.
Right. It's definitely interesting. I mean, technically, she now has one of the best theme songs going, right? She's going to come out every time to this theme, so that's a plus as well. So you're going to hear a lot more of this theme in the future of NXT. But really, really cool. I'm waiting to see the Dwayne's reaction to this. Like, I'm sure he's got a lot. I'm sure he watches NXT every Tuesday night, so he'll give his thoughts, I'm sure. But he's busy touring with the #1 movie, Black Adam. But I'm sure he got a chance to sit down and watch. I can't believe it. All this time when Jagger Reed and what's his name?
Rip Fowler.
They were like, "Fuck, we got to lose our gimmicks that we had before. We got to change our names. We got to wear these eye things. We got to hang out with this guy. Wait, now the Rock's daughter's in our group.
Might be invited all right, for Christmas dinner.
Wait, now we're what? Now we're okay. Yeah. Sure. Let's do it.
She does speak. She says, "This family completes me." Again, if you're doing the family thing, it can always play down the line.
Exactly.
She says, "I am Ava Rain." They all hug. And then Gacy says, "This collective of hearts beat together in unity." And I know. And then they say, "4 roots, 1 tree." And they're all kind of mouthing along. 4 roots, 1 tree.
Very Charles Manson.
4 roots, 1 tree.
4 roots, 1 tree. A family. Trust your heart.
We go backstage to Sol Ruka, who says she's nervous and excited to go up against Indy Hartwell. And she says, "Just like when I'm crashing through a wave, it's like excitement but fear."
Instant death when someone's like, I'm really excited. Just like when I was excited to surf and make... Oh, man.
Indy walks in, and this is something she's been doing recently, kind of having babyface v babyface matches, but kind of coming in and talking a bit of shit.
Yeah.
She says, "Doing tricks is only going to get you so far. It's all about winning." So that's setting up their match a little later. When we get a WWE Performance Center call message thing.
So it's a video, and it's basically when you watch, like, I don't know, like true crime shows.
It's like the 911 calls.
It'll have the 911 call. It'll play it for you with the audio playing, and then like show you the subtitles and stuff. So it's doing that, but it's the WWE Performance Center voicemail. I wonder if this is their actual voicemail. Hi, welcome to the voicemail. Welcome to the WPC. Leave your name and number and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. Have a great day.
Yeah.
Beep. And then it leaves a message.
So I didn't catch. Unfortunately, we don't have a rewind option or a pause option while we're watching. But
I just didn't care.
It seemed to be like lyrics or a poem because it was all like rhyming. It was written like verse. Said, "Let go of all your pain, washing away your deepest fear. Listen with your eyes, awaken from the pits you call the dark. Open up to my soliloquy and watch as I come and leave my mark and plan to tear all of NXT apart. Sincerely yours, Scripts."
Scripts. Yeah. First of all, do people leave
Is this
voicemails?
like Lights or Grimes or like what is this?
Scripts. Yeah. Like who leaves voicemails? No one does that. I didn't like. Is that even still a thing? It's just very odd that this would be the. We have so many more creative things going on, especially just recently with like the White Rabbit. Hell, even Zoe Starks with her QR codes. Then to kind of go back to this route, it is a bit like not as cool, but it's like we just had a segment with these guys doing this.
Yeah,
and now we're going more.
It feels a bit Joe Gacy-esque.
Is this the hacker Solomon Crow?
Is this Solomon Crow?
What's his name now? And
Scripts. It sounds
Scripts. I don't know any scripts. Snakes. I don't know any snakes.
Like, is it a guy? Is it a girl? Like,
well, it had a pitched down voice, so I'm sure by the time you listen to this, someone out there has pitched up their voice.
Been hackerized, yeah.
Yeah, it's like a hacker gimmick. Is it Mustafa Ali? He's way above voicemails though. He knew how to hack into everything.
He's trying to make it on Raw right now.
Is it Dijak?
Well, I wouldn't think it's. We've already had the Dijak thing, and it was a very different style.
So who's Scripts?
Maybe it's Mace.
Or is this just like they think WWE thinks this is a person, but it's actually like those people who keep calling me to ask if my ducts need cleaning. They're like, "Oh, dear."
Your ducts?
Ducts.
Oh, okay.
Or like the people who are like, "You've won a cruise" or something. Like, is it like that? Or is this person just like, what is it? Pain soliloquies. He's quoting what? Is he trying to quote Macbeth here or something?
Yeah, I think a bit too much of these like cryptic. I like mysteries, but I just
like a good mystery.
I do like a good mystery.
Juicy mystery.
And I do think it builds like anticipation of who it's going to be. But just the dialogue just felt very Gacy-esque, and maybe we've got a few too many people talking in these riddles.
Because I recently watched The Watcher on Netflix,
Okay.
and it's doing that. Basically, every time a letter was sent to this house, when you watch it on the show and they read it, it goes in like this like pitched down voice.
Right.
It's exactly like this. So
Okay.
maybe someone watched that this week and went, "Oh, we could do something like this person's watching over the PC, like secretly watching or not." I don't know. I feel like with all the other like mystery stuff, it's kind of already on the weaker side, but right away, first time seeing it, so maybe it can get better and go to like the next level. But Scripts. It's definitely hacker type.
I mean, it could tie in with this could be built for Deadline, because we did have the commercial for NXT Deadline, which had a similar kind of thing. It was like the ticking countdown clock to reveal. I don't know.
Something.
We go to Sol Ruka versus Indy Hartwell. Sol Ruka decides to do some flips.
That's the best way to describe it.
Yeah.
She literally does like handstands in her entrance, and then right away she's doing flips in the match.
Goes for a drop kick, but Indy holds the ropes, and then Indy delivers this big clothesline, and then follows up with 3 short arm clotheslines, and then a big forearm to the back of the head.
Yeah.
And just puts Sol Ruka away just like that.
It was like 30 seconds at like maybe not even. Basically, she used the bull hammer to the back of the head. What's Osprey's? The Os cutter? No.
The hidden blade.
Blade.
It's more. This
the
one's
Indy
more
blade.
like carrying crosses.
Yeah,
No, the
true.
hidden blade goes that way, like follows through. This is more the.
What was his called? The cross.
The shit elbow.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, this was kind of a shocker because Indy just crushes this newbie here, but it makes sense.
I like that she's been getting a bit of an edge, like these interrupting promos, being a bit more confident in herself. It sure beats being like, "Oh, I lost my partner and my friend and my family."
Yeah, she's just angry that like Dexter's not here. Like she's still floating around here, not really. She's just.
I like this more of a direction for her, being maybe a bit more heelish, a bit more aggressive.
I like the finish.
Yeah.
It was better than the time she used the superplex, even though I was still a fan of that because, like, well, someone's not got to kick out of it one time. But, yeah.
Yeah. After the match, Elektra Lopez returns
Whoa!
and beats up both Indy and Sol Ruca, looks in the camera and says, La Madrina is back.
Yeah, you forgot about her. She didn't get the call-up. She got replaced by Zelina, but it's okay.
This for the bet. I think Lopez has a good presence.
Yeah.
I've liked her as part of Legado, but her wrestling needs work. So if you did move her up with Legado, it would expose her, and I think her wrestling wouldn't ever really improve. Whereas maybe in NXT she can get more reps in and hopefully get better in ring.
Her Blue Thunder Bomb here looked awesome on Sol Ruca. She crushed her, but she always hit that move really well, if I'm remembering from some of her matches. Yeah, it is kind of unfortunate because the storyline was, Legado, we're family. You think I'd leave family behind? Psych, yeah, I do. Yeah, sorry, Elektra. We found Zelina, and she's kind of great, so we're going to go with her. But I'm happy that she still has a role here, and she looked good here, beating both these girls up. So there's different storylines we can go with Elektra getting some rub. I could see her getting better in the ring.
We go to Chase U.
Yes.
And they're in class, and Duke Hudson shows up. He's the latest...
The exchange student.
Graduate. That's it. The exchange student.
The exchange student. The transfer student.
Bodie isn't there. Bodie hasn't shown up, and Duke Hudson sits in Bodie's seat, and Thea Hale's like, well, that's Bodie's seat. And Andre says, well, he didn't show up, so it's a free seat. It's whoever sits in it.
Yeah, Duke kind of goes, I saw him earlier. I don't know where he is. So it's almost like suspicious, are you the reason? Car trouble, eh? Are you the reason?
Andre is saying that next week is November, November's always been a historic month with loads of events. So let's start with the fucking Montreal screw job. And as he's talking, his voice goes in the background, and Thea Hale's pen has ran out. So Duke Hudson gives her his pen, and she's like, well, what about you? And he's like, I write everything down in my head. And Andre Chase is like, what the fuck, Duke? What the fuck do you mean? You write things down. You don't think what I have to say is good enough to write down?
Write it down.
And Thea goes to stand up for Duke, and he's like, no, you're right, sir. My problem. And then he steals the pen of the student to the other side of his. As
the class goes on, and again, it's almost slowly fading. Andre Chase is still talking, and then jazz music starts to play, and then Duke is acting all suave, and then just reaches over, just steals the pen, starts writing his notes, and then that student's like, I don't know what to do, and then it fades out. And
what a fucking heel.
What the hell?
What a heel, stealing a pen.
I mean, he was the good guy here. He gave Thea and took the rap for her broken pen, essentially don't worry.
He's trying to he's working for Kiana. No?
Oh, what?
Kiana wants to buy Chase U, or buy the land that Chase U is on. So Duke is taking them down from the inside. He's clearly laid out Bodie, and now he's trying to get Thea on his side
to take down Chase U from the inside.
The poor girl next to him isn't going to graduate because he stole a pen.
All I know is
he's destroying it from the inside.
This jazz music or whatever started playing, I was howling at him, just Duke has a really funny facial reactions, and he just takes the pen he's the worst fucking thing ever, and the music's playing. I don't know what it was.
God bless this guy.
I was laughing so hard.
Him some absolute drizzly shit,
and he's still here.
And I'm it's so bad I get enjoyment from it.
Yeah.
We have. It's a lot less 2.0 stuff than we used to have. It's still got some there. And in its right doses, I can just laugh at this.
Man, so good. I'm interested now. Yeah. You're kind of on the right track. Maybe this is Kiana James, or is she too busy doing dark matches on the main roster? Do you see that? Kiana James.
Nice.
The secretary too?
Jean?
G. I think her name's G.
G.
Someone corrected us being guys, you kept saying her name was Jean, but I think it's G.
Maybe the three of them are scripts.
Business scripts? I don't know if they use voicemails. Maybe. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, of course they would. They're business people.
Yeah.
Do business things.
With their phones and business voicemails. I don't know. Chase U. I mean, Bodie's going to come back next week and be like, I had my tire was slashed, or something that clearly Duke caused him not to show up. But
maybe Duke has kind of got his mojo back and has been playing poker, so he's won enough money to help Kiana buy Chase U as well.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Maybe we're overthinking it.
I don't think so. I don't think we're thinking about this enough.
I mean, where
people need to be talking about?
If people saw Kiana James and her secretary, they most definitely would be talking about this angle more than we should be.
We get a little video advertising NXT Deadline, which is happening December the 10th. And then we get a follow-up from Roxanne Perez following her win over Cora Jade at the Weapons Wild match. And she says she's upset about what she became at NXT Halloween Havoc, but she has found a whole new level of belief in herself, and friends are going to come and go, but whoever changes around me, I have to stay true to who I am.
Yeah.
I think you're right. I think she'll be heading for that title
I think
soon.
there's
no other real, unless you bring someone in, no other real people I can think of to go against Mandy.
I would do Roxanne Mandy at Deadline.
Yeah.
That's I think would be the match. But down the line, Mandy has to have another opponent before then. Yeah.
We see Malik and Idris, they're leaving the PC and they're upset. And they're like, oh man, what if that was our last chance? And then we hear, woo! It's some woo girls. And Odyssey Jones shows up in a big car with all these girls just hanging out. And they're like, yo, where the fuck have you been the last 3 months?
Yeah, remember Odyssey Jones?
Yeah.
Shout out Odyssey Jones.
And
here he is showing up in a truck full of girls.
And he's like, yo guys, wrestling's lame. I lost all the time. I've gone away. I bought this car. I found these girls. Sure, you lost, but do you want to have fun with us instead? And Idris is like, I don't know about you, but this looks fun.
He jumps in the back of the truck.
I feel like his shirt's off, probably. He jumps in the back of the truck, and Malik's like, oh, I don't know, man. And the girls drag him through the window.
I don't know, it looked like he jumped.
As the car drives off and his legs are kind of kicking in the window. But big return from Odyssey motherfucking Jones.
What a good guy this guy is. His two buds just lost earlier tonight. What a better way to get your mind off losing the title match tonight by just having a party. Get in my truck.
I think this guy's a bad influence on these two.
Oh,
Cameron
really?
Grimes put these two straight and was like, hey, you're talented and you should be going for titles and winning and not pissing about so much. Odyssey Jones, we haven't seen this lad for a long time.
Yeah, but you know, once in a while you need to,
I agree. Like, what are you going to do tonight? You've had your match, you've lost. You're not going to go training tonight.
Exactly.
Like, let your hair down. Let your vest down. Have some fun.
Let your vest down. Yeah, take the vest off.
Yeah.
We need to see next week a recap of what happened at this party in the truck with all the girls in the. Is it like, in movies and like sometimes, I'm assuming this is Florida, obviously. So like, I guess people riding in the back of your pickup truck is legal in Florida. I would assume so. Like, just probably like drinking Four Loko while driving a truck is probably legal. Like, this looks like this guy's doing them a favor. Like, come out, hang out, forget about your problems, and focus on them tomorrow. I think they need
these
good lad.
Mellows girls?
I don't know. There was a lot. There was way too many people in this truck. Trucks can fit a lot of people, I learned.
Yeah.
So there you go. We need to get a truck.
You need a license.
This is true, yeah. A truck would be a nice.
I need to change mine over to be Canadian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A truck would be a nice addition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We go to the main event of the evening. Ilya Dragunov taking on JD McDonough. And as JD's making his entrance, Dragunov just attacks him and hits him with these 3 German suplexes that are just beautiful. The last one with this big bridge hits a flying knee to the face of JD and then this vicious elbow to the back of the head. Everything Ilya does has such a nice snap to it. Even something as simple as like a scoop slam just looks beautiful from this guy. Dragunov then goes for his like 619 in the ropes, but his ribs kind of give out and he falls. His ribs all taped up from the match on Saturday. So now JD starts to attack the ribs, sending him flying into the announce table, and the referee kind of steps between the two as doctors are checking on Dragunov as we go to commercial break.
Yeah, kind of odd to kind of go to this angle. Like, I guess they're playing up, he's got taped up ribs from his match last weekend. But then, like, I don't know, I just watched Hangman get clotheslined and then they stopped the match. I just felt like it was little...
especially in the last year, they've done this a lot.
This trope,
in matches. Like I think pretty much every Sammy Guevara match, it's going to commercial and them checking. It doesn't make sense to me in the context, like kayfabe, of wrestling.
Yeah.
Because the idea of a wrestling match is to hurt someone enough so they're either pinned for 3 seconds, they're down for 10 seconds, they're counted out the ring for 10 seconds, or they're submitted. So to be like, oh wait, this guy's hurt, it's like he should be hurt. We're fighting each other.
Yeah.
So I kind of only want to see this when it's a legit and it's
not that. It's like
I think it's lazy.
It's such a. Lazy. It is such a trope that's used so often that when the Hangman one happened, you're like, oh, is this real or not? But then it's like, no, this guy's actually hurt. So it is kind of weird. But again, they're playing up like he's not 100%. They're actually doing the same. This felt like the same design and setup from that match with Daniel Garcia and Bryan Danielson a few months back. That really good one where Garcia got the win over Danielson because Danielson was too hurt from prior, and then the finish was even the same finish as this one. So it was very similar. It's like, well, he beat him really violently, but he also like beat him when the guy was down already. So it still sets up the feud and continues it. So I didn't mind that, but you're right. It's like, how many times did they just do this?
Like I'd just be, if I was JD, it's like, count him.
Yeah, count him
He's
out.
out of the ring.
Yeah.
Count him.
I know what you're saying. It's totally one of the tropes that's like in the playbook of, okay, well, we haven't done this tonight. Yeah. It's like, that's definitely in that book.
That aside, this match is really good.
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah.
So after the commercial break, Dragunov is back in the match. He's delivering these chops and elbows to the back of JD. Hits this big Gamangiri, a diving knee, and then Dragunov goes up the top for his senton, but JD gets the knees up, attacking those ribs even more.
There's like when Dragunov fired back here, he hits his chops, which like no one's on the level of his chops, maybe Gunther and stuff, but he then chops him in the legs. He then chops him on the side of the arms, and then he like spins him around and chops him in the back. Yeah. Like this guy is basically, you know, those like wooden spinning things you see in movies when they're training how to fight. He does that to you. He'll like spin you around and just slap you everywhere and chop you. It looks like it looks great. Yeah, it looks like it hurts.
Then delivers this beautiful superplex to McDonough, and then I love this move when JD's like lying on his back and he just comes flying in with this forearm to the face.
This is like,
it's like the knockout finish him blow.
Yeah, he did this to Braun on the pay. He does this in a lot of his matches, but when he did this to Braun on the pay-per-view, I was like, this should be one of your super finishers. Yeah. Like this should be the cherry on top to make sure the guy's out. And it looks violent. It's a falling down like Superman forearm when the guy's. Yeah. It's UFC mounting almost like pounds him, but he looks so good when he does this. No one makes it look as brutal as him.
Yeah, it's stunning. It's an awesome move. Dragunov is then setting up for Torpedo Moscow, but kind of falters and sells the ribs a little bit. Then charges in for that diving headbutt, but JD catches him in a sleeper with the legs grapevine around the ribs and is just squeezing Ilya.
Yeah. Great spot, catching him in midair with that sleeper, yeah.
The like forearm is across the nose. We see his nose is just, I think it's his nose is just leaking here.
There's blood all around his mouth and blood. Vic Joseph's like trying not to say he's bleeding, but he's like, look at his face, man. His nose is getting stretched
JD,
up.
like I don't know if he broke it here because he's just squeezing that nose. And Booker is like going, and actually I thought Booker was quite good here because he was like, ref, call it, like he's out.
Yeah,
he's out.
I was yelling at the TV.
And the ref eventually like calls it off, and Booker kind of sells that the ref should have called that earlier. Like Dragunov could be like injured, seriously hurt now. And
Vic Joseph with great call as well. Like as soon as the bell rings, JD still doesn't let go, and the ref is trying to pull him off, but it's even like hurting Dragunov's nose even more. And that's when Booker was saying like, hey, he could be even more hurt now. And Vic Joseph, who I give a ton of shit to all the time, but here he's like, son of a bitch, let him go. And I was like, good call, because I was yelling. This whole match really did have me on the edge of my seat since coming back from that first commercial break. But specifically, the final moments here was really good. Really Hats off to both these talents and the whole commentary team. Just everything was perfect, and that's it. JD gets the win.
Wins, and they do a stretcher angle with Ilya being stretched out of the arena.
Yeah.
So I think we're probably not going to see Dragunov for a few weeks. Like this was brutal. and then set up for essentially a big rubber match.
Yeah,
I would
please.
think down the line.
Definitely.
I don't know if you do a stipulation or 2 out of 3 or something like that.
Yeah.
But it feels like we're going that way because they're definitely NXT UK match is definitely canon in this story.
Yeah.
So I feel that's the way we're going here.
Again, I don't want to like stretch this storyline out, even though he's on the stretcher. But I would say that the December 10th show deadline would be a great match to have on that show to just really deliver a banger show, because these guys really delivered in that main event on Saturday, and I really enjoyed this main event. This had NXT UK feels. We did a best match ever podcast chatting all about the NXT UK matches, and these two obviously were all over that because they had some crazy matches over there, and to kind of see this brought over here, I thought this was great. This gets over JD and it gets over Ilya. Like, Ilya's already a name.
I think JD kind of needed this because he's come in as this kind of super heel, but has lost a couple of the big matches.
Well, he didn't lose to Braun. He wasn't pinned.
True.
So now
but he did lose in the original title match.
Yeah.
And then I think Ilya, being that kind of underdog, having him like fighting with the rib injury here, he's fine after this.
Of course.
And I think it definitely gives JD some credibility coming out of this.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought this was a pretty strong episode of NXT. I thought
Me too.
Both the tag matches and this main event really delivered. And then I quite enjoyed some of the silly stuff. I thought the R-Truth stuff was kind of fun. The reveal of the Schisms member was, I'd say, better than expected.
I mean,
quite interesting.
It definitely like instantly turns it in a direction we didn't think it would go. Yeah.
So I actually quite enjoyed this week's episode.
There was a lot of good wrestling, and I love when there's some good matches. Both tag title matches really did deliver for me. I thought all the people involved, it just helped and elevated them get to that way. Specifically the champions, I think. Well, actually, no, not Pretty Deadly. I think Malik Blade and Idris stole that match. And then I loved every time I get to hear "What's Up" by R-Truth, so it's instant pop from me. Loved his Joker outfit. But that main event and the angle afterwards was the shit I love to watch. Again, reminded me of that Garcia Danielson where it was the other way. It was Garcia doing that to him kind of. But again, he's not 100%, so that's the story. Like, the good guy can come back in the end and get his win back over JD. But yeah, solid NXT. And we got Odyssey Jones coming back in a truck with the party. So what was not to like on this episode?
Duke stealing pens. A lot going on.
Yeah, a lot going on, but NXT is not dead. NXT is alive and well. So can't wait to see some stuff going forward. I'd be interested in seeing JD versus Braun one more time before the deadline show. Where would you book? Because you're saying
Braun Ilya 1-on-1 at some point.
Maybe that's the deadline. I don't know. Like, there's still some time, like a month plus.
I do think maybe JD Ilya at deadline. I could see that. I do think it will be Cruz and Braun
at deadline.
I think so.
Oh, okay. I see that match happening like next week, 2 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah, and then we move, and then JD attacks him after, set up that match, and then finally Ilya comes back. I don't know. There's a few different possibilities there, but whereas the tag team division, like you'd think Creeds get back into that. Creeds and Creed still feel like they're almost the champions, even though they're not, because they're in like bigger angles with Sangha.
You could do
and
some
Veer.
sort of three-way with Indashir involved, maybe.
Did that recently with the four-way, but yeah. Solid episode, and
then the rematch with Zoe and Nikita. I think, because who else is there?
Yeah. Well, we're slowly getting back to the way it kind of felt, especially with having bangers with Dragunov and JD and stuff. And yeah, they said Braun is back next week.
Yes.
So looking forward to that.
So that's what we thought. Let's go to the upNXT Facebook group to see what you guys thought. And we start with defending BDE champion Fire Frank, who says, "Yo, where the fuck is Hank tonight? How could you, Sanger? That women's tag title match was a bit of a banger. What a war of a main event. Shout out R-Truth, Shotzi, Young Rock, Elektra, and motherfucking Jones. See you in Newark. Side plate check."
I can't see it for some reason, so you might have to read it.
We go to Sean, who says, "Really enjoyed tonight's episode. Both tag team title matches were great, with the women's match stealing the show. Kaden and Katana are so smooth together, and Zoe and Nikita more than held up their end. Inofi and Blade also put on a great performance while coming up short against the champs. The other big news tonight was the reveal of Ava Raine as Schism's new member. I see a lot of hate for this, but I'm going to go against the grain and say it's smart putting Ava with Schism. We have no idea how green she is. She may need the bells and whistles for a while. There's also room for her to grow beyond them if she truly excels. I'm game to see where it goes. R-Truth showing up was great, and his segment with Waller was hilarious. Looking forward to their match next week. Finally, we got a brutal but great main event between JD and Ilya. Those two guys never disappoint. All in all, a fun follow-up to Halloween Havoc.
All right, I got it going now. We go to Megan, who says, a passable episode, despite being a little light on star power. Pretty Deadly versus Inoue and Blade was a low-key banger, and Dragunov JD was a strong main event. R-Truth appearing was a neat surprise. Deadline is a good name for NXT's next live special because Toxic Attraction need to move the hell on because the bloom is starting to come off of Mandy's rose. See what he did there? He says, save us, Roxanne Perez. You're our only hope. A passable way to spend my 32nd birthday. Hey, happy birthday, Megan.
Happy birthday, Megan.
I'm sorry Mandy Rose did not lose the title. Maybe she'll lose it next week in the 1 year special. And then we go to Jordan, who writes in, Jordan M. Doucette, who says, I didn't watch the show tonight, but I love hearing my name said on the show, so here we are. Also, the Brady followed me on TikTok, so my life is now complete. I didn't realize I did, but I'm sure you post some great TikToks.
Have better goals in life, Jordan.
That he has a goal. His life is complete.
Life is complete now. You must have had a very full life.
Why are you knocking my star
No,
power
I'm
here?
just saying, like, dream bigger.
You don't even have a TikTok.
I
You're
do.
not even. You
I
do?
have a TikTok, yeah. Haven't figured out how to use it,
Yeah.
but I have it. Thank you, Jordan.
Yeah. Thank you, Jordan. I'm a nice guy. Davie's mean. I'm sorry. You can have whatever life goals you want. You have one moment. This is it. Don't lose it. You better seize the opportunity.
One opportunity.
Something like that. Thank you guys for listening to us talk about some NXT. We will be back next Tuesday night, of course, after NXT goes off the air. We go live on our Twitch and our YouTube, and the video replays are always available. And, of course, you found us on whatever podcast app you're listening. We will be back tomorrow night chatting all about AEW Dynamite featuring Penta versus Moxley. I'm actually really hyped about this match. The Mask Stealer Penta. Mask Taker, I guess you could say, from AAA Mania off his hot run. I bet Mox watched that match and was like, that's a lot of blood there, Penta. I want to fight you. So
I want to bleed.
Yeah, so it's a match made in heaven, really. Also, a pretty stacked card, actually. There's a few banger matches.
Guevara Danielson, FTR Swerve in Our Glory.
Yeah, Dynamite's looking pretty fresh tomorrow
pretty
night.
good.
So we'll be chatting about that on BD Elite on this very feed as well. We'll go live after Dynamite. And patreon.com/upNXT. North American tier, $5. You get a whole month of access to everything we've done. So many shows. But if you become a world champ patron, not only do you get to eventually pick stuff and join us, such as Jared Black, who picked Jurassic Park, which we're going to be talking and recording tomorrow, and that'll be out this week on our Patreon. Yes, the original Jurassic Park. We're going to be chatting all about that. That'll be there. But if you're a world champion, you also get access to Behind the BDE, which we recorded a show right before we watched NXT tonight. I'll release that maybe sometime tomorrow morning for all world champs, where you will hear me and Davey talk about cannibalism, aliens, garlic bread,
Being frozen.
There's a lot of things we discuss on this show. So elite podcast for all world champ members. But $5 gets you access to all the other stuff, including Jurassic Park, The Omen, Halloween Havoc, all those things. Go check us out, guys. It's the price of a coffee. It's the price of a comic book. It's the price of a whatever else you spend. What else are you gonna spend $5 on? Yeah. So,
Honestly.
So smoke them if you got them. Pour yourself a nice strong one, or have a nice relaxing shower, a bath, or maybe you're driving and put on your favorite podcasters.
Yeah.
The BDE.
Oh, and fuck the Tories. Enough is enough.
I don't know what that means, but
We got a new Prime Minister again.
fuck.
And did we vote for him? No, it was the Tories just went, oh, well, no one else is going to be PM. You can be PM. It's fucking bullshit.
Another, sorry.
This world, man.
Yeah.
You see, well, or you could just listen to us and be happy.
Just live in a bubble.
Make me Prime Minister. Both of us, the BDE.
Or maybe,
Yeah.
if you follow me on TikTok, at the
Your
Brady,
life will be complete.
I'll follow you back.
Oh,
this week only.
Yeah.
Everyone follow me on TikTok, and I'll follow you back. Do I know how to use it? Not at all, but go follow it. Hey, guys, thank you very much for listening. At upNXT Podcast on Twitter for all the updates on all the other shows. We will see you in Newark if we don't talk to you then, but we definitely will. I myself, Braden Herrington, I'm on Twitter and Instagram and TikTok at the Brady.
And you can find me at Davie Portman.
That's it. That's all. Take care. Goodbye. Be safe. And love is blind. The grass is always greener on the other side.
Ahoy!